America. What's going on, everybody? Welcome one and all to a little afternoon live stream. I'm only going to be streaming for about 30 minutes or so. Put my daughter down for a nap about 15 minutes ago. I have a feeling she's going to pop up pretty soon. But welcome one and all. I started recording audio for a really fun video that I'm excited to get out. It's about McClunky. It's about the latest Star Wars change to the Han and Greedo Cantina scene. Incorporating some silly bits in there. You know, I didn't want to rush it. Having fun with it. Yeah, we'll see. But welcome, guys. Good to see everybody. Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. So, yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Mandalorian, please, I implore you. I appreciate you tuning in, but I don't want this to be the place where you get spoiled, right? So, Carter Lovejoy, thank you so much, man. Breaking news: the Phantom Menace, the Phantom Fandom Menace and MZ. I don't know what MZ is. Have taken over Lucasfilm HQ. There's a lot of acronyms and initialisms here. I don't know what is. Okay, let me figure this out. Phantom Menace or the Fandom Menace and MZ. I don't know what MZ is. Have taken over Lucasfilm headquarters. Killed Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know. Is that B.I.? Bob Iger and BL. Who's BL? I'm trying to think. Who would BL be? Put DF and BDSM. What? Who would BL be? BL. And DF. Dave Filoni. In BDSM bondage gear and have caused a civil war in Hollywood. Uh-oh. Is that the latest scoop coming out from express.uk.express.com.eu.cc.gg? Mike Zero, Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, Brie Larson, Dave Filoni. There's a lot of names in that mix. Man, I'm too out of the loop. But I appreciate that. It is funny, like, it kind of reminds me of the tweet that I sent out earlier. I was just kind of scrubbing through Twitter this morning and waking up, and I was like, why do people give a shit? Like, I've never once in my life, you know, I've agreed with actors, I've disagreed with actors, but I've never cared enough to, like, let an opinion upset me. Like, oh man, it's weird. It's fucking weird. It's tabloid sensationalism. And as I said in my tweet, it reminds me of, like, when grandparents hear something, you know, in the void about an actor or a celebrity or politician. They don't really know the situation, but they continue to say things out of context, and it's weird to me. It's weird to me why anybody gives a shit about what an actor does or doesn't think and their opinions. It is the equivalent of, like, a National Enquirer type of thing. People get too invested in things that don't matter. But yeah. Big fan. I like the discussions you make or have about Star Wars, and plus I tend to agree with you on most part. Keep it up. Well, I appreciate that, Ethan. Thanks for the kind words, man. People want Filoni to be in charge. They don't seem to realize. No, I like Filoni's work, obviously. As a Star Wars fan, you know, it often hits you right in the place where you like, you know, where your Star Wars, I guess, your favorite Star Wars stuff lies. So I've absolutely loved. He directed the first episode, correct? Yeah, who's directing the third episode of The Mandalorian? The Mandalorian IMDb. IMBD is what I typed. Let's see. Where are the episodes? Season 1. Oh, Bryce Dallas Howard is directing it? Let's see. Nope. Deborah Chow, who somebody actually was talking about her the other day. Chapter 4, it looks like, is going to be directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. Deborah Chow. Better Call Saul. So the next director directed Better Call Saul episodes, American Gods, Mr. Robot episodes, Jessica Jones, The Man in the High Castle. A whole lot of, like, one episode of these TV shows. That's crazy. Lost in Space episode. She's gonna be... Looks like she's gonna be doing something with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. If I had to guess, probably directing an episode, like kind of the trend. Interesting. A little spin, a little different direct. I mean, every show does that, right? Different directors for different episodes and stuff like that. But I like it. Different spin, different feel for each episode. Anyway, yeah. Oh, she's the showrunner for Obi-Wan. Interesting. Okay. I haven't watched that many of the shows that's on our IMDb. I've seen a couple episodes of Better Call Saul. I thought I would really get into it, but, you know, I watched Breaking Bad through and through from start to finish. We had, like, Breaking Bad viewing parties, but for whatever reason, I just didn't slip into Better Call Saul like I thought I would. But what's up, Josh? I love both episodes, probably the second a bit more, but I'm interested to see how the flow of the show goes, 1 and 2 being so different. Yeah, I like that feel. That they were very different. Episode 2 had some just really great, fun humor in there. It wasn't like haha humor. It was just like, I don't know. The job was reminded me, and I've said this before, so they reminded me of like the Alien toys and the Claw Machine and Toy Story. That's what they reminded me of, and they were cracking me up, man. But yeah, I'm really curious how each episode is gonna feel. I hope every director is able to put their little spin on it, and yeah, big fan of both episodes so far. I think I liked episode 2 a little bit more. That doesn't mean I dislike. It's kind of funny whenever you say that, a lot of people automatically assume you didn't like another thing just because you like something more than you disliked a different thing. Does that make sense? I don't know why people are so either or. I don't know. It's weird. Gotta love it. Do anybody know the name of Baby Yoda? Nope. Nobody knows the name of Baby Yoda. In fact, I would be willing to bet that nobody in the show knows the name of Baby Yoda. You know, maybe that's just some lost information. But who knows? Who knows? What do you think of the Nick Nolte character? I love the Nick Nolte character. I don't know how to pronounce his name, though. Is it Kyle? I really don't know. Oh, one sec.
Mandalorian through other means, being in the UK but loving it so far. What do you think of the score for it? I love it. Simple but effective. More hype for Obi-Wan.
For sure. Simple but effective. Well, first of all, Matt Coles, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that. It's a bummer that you have to go to those measures to watch it, and I mean I think we all kind of get what Matt's saying, and it's a shame that it wasn't a global release. You know, as Star Wars fans, we're a part of this global community, and whenever we go to a movie premiere or whenever a new Star Wars movie is coming out, we all kind of experience it together on a worldwide scale. It's an event. It's a global event. And it feels very strange to have, like, a massive population of Earth not be able to tune in to the latest and greatest Star Wars thing. It feels very strange. I don't like it. It's a bummer. But I'm glad you're able to watch it, man. The way you explain the score, simple but effective, is perfect. It's not super overpowerful. It's not the... It kind of, in a way, Matt, it reminds me of like the score for Jaws. You know, it's there. It sets an atmosphere. It sets a tone, and it kind of has similar beats. It reminds me of just kind of like old Wild West movies too. Especially when he was jumping on the sand crawler. You know, it was kind of like a bass beat, boom, boom, a cadence, boom, boom. As he's running up, as he's jumping on, it felt like a train robbery from an old Wild West, movie. I love it. I love the score. It's different, but similar. It's different in a good way. It doesn't it still feels like a Star Wars score. It still kind of goes down the same path and feels very familiar yet different. But it kind of changes up the idea of what Star Wars music can be. You know, it kind of, it flavors the scene. And it's often pretty toned down and simple. But yeah, I love it, Matt. I absolutely love it. On the topic of music, I think Jedi Fallen Order is very similar. Jedi Fallen Order's music definitely feels more kind of in line with what you would typically think of Star Wars music, especially with Cal's theme. Cal's theme is beautiful, but it's kind of interesting. You have like Jedi Fallen Order, Star Wars music feels like just typical what you would expect from Star Wars music, grand orchestra, boom. And then you have The Mandalorian. It's a lot more toned down often, and is more of a cadence, I suppose, for what's going on, if that makes sense. But dude, Matt, I love it. I'm glad you're able to watch the show, man. And I cannot wait for episode 3 on Friday. As normal, I'm going to be waking up at 4 in the morning, watching it, making a video, doing a live stream that day. So, anyway. Matt, I appreciate the hell out of that support this afternoon. And once again, I'm glad you're able to see it. SWTOR Prospector, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I'm glad they're using new planets. They shouldn't waste legacy planets like Tatooine or Takodana on one-off missions. Use those planets sparingly. I'm talking about The Mandalorian, by the way. Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. We're talking about The Mandalorian, so I understand the context. Yeah, even if it was, well, first of all, I think we see eye to eye on this. Star Wars, the galaxy is so enormous. The Star Wars galaxy is very much modeled after the Milky Way galaxy, right? A couple 100 billion stars. The diameter of the Star Wars galaxy is the same diameter as the Milky Way galaxy, 100,000 light years. I believe that's still canon. So there's a lot of places to visit, right? A lot of planets to visit, a lot of star systems to visit. A lot of things going on. If you were just looking at planet Earth, not everything happens in New York City. There's other stories to tell, right? If New York City is Tatooine, not every story is going to be told in New York City. Not every story needs to be told on Tatooine. I like the idea of continuously going to new planets in both movies and in these TV shows. Because, yeah, Star Wars has always been ever expanding. Just different locations. Different stories to tell in different locations. I like it. I prefer new stuff. But that being said, it's kind of funny to me sometimes, I want a Star Wars planet, and I'm sure there is one, but I want one that has different, like, biodiversity. I want one that has, different climates, polar regions, and maybe they do, but oftentimes it's like desert planet, jungle planet, ice planet, ocean planet, just very, very, one thing for this planet. And if a planet has an atmosphere, even thinly, it's typically pretty different in different regions. But anyway, I'm with you, SWTOR. I like, not everything needs to go back to what we already know, right? Keep pushing the boundaries, keep giving us new stuff. That's where the creativity lies, in my opinion. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, SWTOR. Stream is down, really? Is it really down? Is it really down? All right, I guess it stuttered for a second. Interesting. Okay. Don't know. Dude, we're moving out in about 3 weeks. I think fiber is available at our new house. I haven't got an answer. I have not got an answer about the new house and whether or not fiber is available there. Crossing my fingers that it is. I used to have fiber. For 2 years I had fiber, and dude, it was a game changer. Now, the internet that I'm on now, my parents' internet, takes about an hour to upload a video. At my old house, when we had fiber, it no joke took like seconds, and it was uploaded. Anyway. Oh, my daughter just rolled over. Hopefully she's staying asleep. Let's see. She's not making a peep, which is usually a good sign. But yeah. All right, cool. Dude, it's awesome. Hell yeah, Mandalorian man. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, you're talking about fiber. Yeah, it's awesome. Vince Wynn, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. Speaking of Westerns, what is your favorite? Would you like any cameos in the show, or would you rather keep it away from pre-established characters? To answer your second question there, I definitely want it to keep away. I want it to keep away from pre-established characters. You know, that's kind of what I've said on this channel since day one. You know, when Disney acquired the franchise, when we found out we were getting new Star Wars movies, I even said it then that I wanted to focus on a new generation of characters. And if the original characters needed to be in the movie, I wanted them to be used sparingly. And I think they've done a good job with that. It's just kind of, yeah. So I've had that opinion since basically day one on this channel. And even more so in The Mandalorian. I don't think it's necessary to continuously bring back characters that we're already familiar with. You know, unless it makes sense in the story and it doesn't feel forced, cool. But I'm always going to want new characters, right? So, speaking of Westerns, I grew up watching, I haven't watched them in so long, the Dollars Trilogy, Clint Eastwood. Oh, she might be waking up. That was only like 25 minutes. We'll see. I'm gonna talk a little quieter. But like growing up, man, my obviously our probably your grandpa's too. My grandpa just loves Westerns through and through. That's what he watches all day. That's a story for a lot of grandpas, I guess. So I grew up watching a little bit with him. But, you know, as a kid who grew up in the 90s, the Western that really made an impact on me was Tombstone. You know, a lot of the times our favorite stuff is the stuff that we grew up with, stuff that came out, right? Some of my favorite movies are like Spielberg movies that I grew up with, or Men in Black, right? Or that kind of stuff, because, you know, I was young and impressionable. But Tombstone was one of those movies that came, what year did that come out? I believe it was like mid-90s. Let's see, Tombstone movie. 93, okay. So when Tombstone came out, I was about 7 years old. I probably saw it maybe a year or two after that. I really don't remember the first time I saw it, but around then probably. And it's one of my favorite Westerns. It's, yeah, if you guys haven't seen Tombstone, definitely watch it. It's kind of funny. There's so many Westerns out there, but for whatever reason, it's just kind of the story of my life, and probably a lot of people too. The things that you grew up with, the things that you were born into, the music that you listened to, the books that you read, the TV shows that you watched, and the movies that came out around the time that you were young are usually what your favorite things are, right? So Tombstone, for that reason, is probably my favorite Western. I love it. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen Tombstone, watch it. Since we're all gearing into the Mandalorian Western theme, let's have a little viewing party. I wish, but but I appreciate that, Vince. And I hope you're having a good start to your week, man. It looks like my daughter's going back to sleep. Good. The Deadly Llama. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Llama says, howdy. What do you think about Eckert's video about Marvel illustrators stealing fan designs? Interesting that you bring this up. I'd really hate seeing them getting away with this. Dude, it's really interesting that you bring that up. I haven't seen any videos on it. I didn't realize who was making videos on it, in fact. The first time that I ever heard about it was today, Deadly Llama. Today, when I was rocking my daughter for a nap about an hour ago, was the first time I had ever heard of this. It's crazy. It's crazy that Marvel illustrators, comic book makers are pretty obviously tracing fan designs. And I haven't gone down a rabbit hole, and I haven't looked at all the examples, but the few examples that I've seen, it's pretty obvious and pretty insane. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. Why? You know, you have an entire arsenal of material to pull from. You probably have models to work with. You know, you're hired to draw a comic book, and it's like an easy way out to just kind of trace fan designs. It's crazy to me. It's weird. It's a rabbit hole that I would like to go down and just look into. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what can the people that made the original designs really do. It's not their intellectual property, right? But it is their work. So what's the legal precedent there? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it's lazy. It's weird when you look at it. It doesn't make any sense. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be addressed. Like if I was, here's a good example. I've had t-shirts stolen. Design stolen. My buddies that design t-shirts have had t-shirts design stolen. And you reach out and oftentimes they'll take them down, but the person that made the t-shirt for the company that stole your design, what happens to them? The person that's hired to do the art, do you know what I mean? Like let's say it's a freelance project and the person just is lazy and steals a t-shirt design from somebody else and just traces it. You got to give your money back, right? Like if I was paid to design something and I stole something as a freelance artist, and then the company that I was freelancing for found out about this, they would want their money back, right? It's weird. It's weird. And it's not right. But more it's just weird. I don't get it. Again, I haven't gone down the rabbit hole with all this stuff, but I'm definitely really intrigued, and I'll definitely watch some of his videos about it. I actually didn't know he made videos about it. I don't watch much YouTube, to tell you the truth, but I did see his Twitter post, like I said, when I was rocking my daughter down for a nap about an hour ago, and I was like, what? What is this? What is this? But yeah. Anyway, Deadly Llama, I appreciate the channel support this afternoon, and I appreciate you bringing that to my attention, or everybody's attention, rather. Because it's weird, and it's a weird thing that everybody should be aware of. And that kind of stuff definitely shouldn't stand, you know. But yeah. And Jake, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I greatly appreciate that, man. Do you ever take your helmet off? Only to shower. I only take it off to shower. I sleep in it. There's a nice memory foam pillow inside of the helmet, and you know I lay down on my side and I cradle up, and I'm able to go to sleep. No, if you didn't know, maybe you don't know, but what you're seeing right now on your screen is an illusion. It's a looped video. Uh-oh, my daughter is awake, and she's crying. Nope. Oh, now she's laying back down. She's going to go back to sleep. That's how it goes. She did this yesterday, and then she ended up taking a 2-hour nap. Oh, yeah. No, it's a looped video, man, and yeah, it's all for fun, right? But no, I don't wear it often, just for videos. I used to do a lot of charity troops and stuff like that when I was active in the 501st, but yeah. But yeah, I appreciate that, Jake. And Chad, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. You know you're in the Fallen Order bonus content. I did hear that, Chad. I heard that there's like a Jedi Fallen Order documentary with the deluxe edition or something like that, and I haven't watched it yet. I've been kind of waiting to do all that stuff, watch all that stuff, and look into that stuff until I beat the game. I'm only like 6 hours in, so I'm moving through it slowly. But yeah, somebody took a screenshot and sent that to me. It's pretty neat, pretty awesome. And I'm excited to kind of look into that when I beat the game for sure. But yeah, I get it. Looked like they took one of my videos and put it into this documentary. It's pretty neat. Apparently there's a lot of other creators and stuff like that were also included. So probably just a lot of, you know, EA game changers and stuff like that. So pretty awesome. It's an honor. And I appreciate that support this afternoon, Chad. And Danny Travis, thank you so much, man. Are you going to do a countdown to episode 9 like you did with episode 8? It's going to be a little difficult right now, Danny. because we're closing on our house in like December 12th, around then. And then, you know, episode 9 comes out 8 days after that. And I'm seeing it 7 days after that. So the 19th. So it's really not much time to really put a lot of effort into a countdown or multiple videos like that. I'm kind of right now flying by the seat of my pants daily, just working on here and there when I can. The moving into the new house is going to be crazy. It's going to be a cluster. And I'm kind of anticipating the first week or so that we move in to be a little hectic, and I don't know how much time I'm going to have to actually devote to channel stuff. So, you know, kind of bad timing with Star Wars coming out, and moving. That's just how it falls. So I don't think I'll do a countdown or anything like that, Danny, but I definitely will be making videos leading into it. Nothing really scheduled like I used to for episode 8. I made a few videos leading into it, so it's not going to be like that. But you bet your ass I'm going to be making a lot of videos for it. Nothing, no countdown or anything like that leading into it. But yeah, and you know, never know. I could change my mind. I could come up with an idea in 2 minutes, and 2 minutes after the stream goes ends, an idea might pop into my head, and then I actually do a countdown. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah. Anyway, Danny, I appreciate that, man. And Charles Boots, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support, man. I greatly appreciate that. I don't know if you meant to type a little message in there or not, but if you wanted to be a silent supporter, I appreciate it all the same, Charles. Thank you so much for the support this afternoon, man. I hope you're having a good start to your week. FYI, my daughter is laying back down, and she is night-night once again. I told you. She pops up for like 2 minutes, lays back down. Night-night. Night-night. Dude, it's crazy. I wish I could show you guys some of the videos I've taken of her in the past like a month or so. Just how she's smart as hell. I'm sure every parent thinks that, but dude, she's 19 months and she knows her ABCs. She can sing the ABC song. It's crazy. Mind blowing. Anyway. Satanic Lives Matter. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Weapons are a part of my religion. Yeah, what was that? When did he say that? He said put it down. No, what was it? I'm trying to think. Oh, it was in episode 2 when he was riding behind Nick Nolte or something like that. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Is that when he was? Put down your rifle. That's right. Okay, that's right. Oh, I love everything about the show. I bet, Satanic, I bet we're going to get a lot of kind of Mandalorian lore and stuff like that, especially when he goes and revisits the tribe, which I'm assuming he's going to do in a few episodes. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know too much about Mandalorian lore. I don't know kind of the context there. You know, I've seen Clone Wars, that kind of stuff. A lot, maybe, I don't know. That's interesting. If you look at it as a statement of truth, right? Weapons are a part of my religion. Obviously, it must be true for the Mandalorian. He said it. But it's interesting. I liked it. I like that moment too. That was another one of the moments in this show, and there were a lot in episode 2 that was just like a little chuckle, a little moment of just a little giggle moment. A lot of them. But Satanic, I appreciate that, man. And episode 3 this Friday, waking up at 4 in the morning, watching it, making a video. Can't wait. I'm an American. Weapons are part of my religion. Yeah, it's going to be very, very weird for people outside of the United States to kind of wrap their head around my nation's, I guess, admiration might be not the right word, but love for that kind of stuff. If I take a step back outside of like the United States view and look at it from an outside perspective, it's got to be a weird thing to observe, right? I get it. Fee. Oh, God, I'm an idiot. Gwen. And Gwen, you're going to have to... I'm going to keep an eye on the chat. It's been a long time, man. Fi, thank you so much. I'm going to say Fi. Fi, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. I'm an idiot, so I apologize. We allowed to talk about spoilers on Mandalorian? Absolutely. I probably should have prefaced that in the stream title itself. But yeah, the past few Mandalorian streams, I've always kind of warned people at the beginning, you know, if you haven't seen The Mandalorian, please, you know, steer clear of the stream. I appreciate everybody tuning in, but I don't want this place to be, you know, where you get spoiled. Fee win. Okay, there we go. Fee win. There you go. I appreciate that. This dummy, this dummy is dumb. But yeah, Mandalorian spoilers, all over the place here. You know, if you've seen the first 2 episodes, let's chit chat about it. If you haven't, get out, watch it for yourself. Don't let this chat spoil. Don't let my big mouth spoil what's a really fun ride. But I appreciate that, man. Mr. Fee win. And Vince win. Thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Think Mando's budget will make for quality over quantity. And I know you have to finish Fallen Order, but I recommend the Outer Worlds space westerny. A lot of people have recommended the Outer Worlds to me. It's definitely on my radar. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to actually play it. But in terms of a game that I have my eyes on, it's definitely up there. I probably won't play another single player game, to tell you the truth, until Cyberpunk comes out. After, you know, Jedi Fallen Order. I don't really play many games nowadays, and got to be pretty selective. So Cyberpunk is probably what I'm going to play after Fallen Order. It's going to be that long before I touch another single player game. And then, you know, maybe the Outer Worlds will be on sale in the future, and I'll pick it up. But I definitely have my eyes on it for sure. And you said, think Mando's budget will make for quality over quantity. Yeah, what was the budget? 120 million? I think that's what it was. I believe that's what... Somebody correct me, but if I'm wrong. But yeah, you know, I saw some people complaining about the runtime of Mandalorian. The first episode was, what, 40 minutes? The second episode was like 30 minutes, I think. It's quality over quantity, for sure. And I had this thought earlier today, and I was about to tweet it out when I was rocking my daughter, but... It's nice, these streaming services, especially The Mandalorian, it's a good example, where there's not a lot of filler. You get in, you get out. You say what you want to say, you show what you want to show, and you get out. You're not beholden to advertisers, right? You're not beholden to commercial breaks. You don't need to stretch things out to fill up an hour. And let's face it, if The Mandalorian was on regular cable, like a regular cable network, a 40-minute episode would be the norm. You know, you'd have 20 minutes of ad breaks and nobody would question it. But it's 40 minutes. What a normal show would be if you stripped Breaking Bad down and took away all the commercials, an episode of Breaking Bad would probably be about that long as well, right? I think. But so yeah, quality over quantity. Absolutely. 8 episodes. I like how kind of modern shows, you know, especially streaming service shows, they make, like, at the most, for the most part, like 10 episode seasons, and then once it's done, it's done. They kind of, it's like British television. You know, they know when to stop. They make a couple seasons, maybe one season, it's over. But yeah, I like, there's nothing wrong with the runtime for sure. And like I said, if it was on a regular TV network, you'd have 20 minutes of ad breaks, and in the actual show would be like 40 minutes long, right? But yeah. Anyway, Vince, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, speaking of Fallen Order, tonight I'll be playing Fallen Order for about an hour or so. Another stream tonight, probably around 7:30 p.m. Eastern time or so. We shall see. And Wookiee Cookies. Look who it is. It's Wookiee Cookies. Did you make that? I guess it would be arrogant for me to say that. I was going to say, did you make that username because of a past stream that we've done where I talked about Wookiee Cookies? Probably not. Wookiee Cookies are a real thing. Mando has great post-OT world building. Wookiee Cookies. I agree. One of my favorite things is seeing... Well, the Mandalorian said, I don't know if you've heard, the Empire is gone or dead, or I can't remember exact verbiage that he used, but, you know, we see some of the Imperial remnant. We see what I'm assuming are going to be factional splintering potentially vying for power of the Empire. I like seeing this world after kind of a dominating force had a stranglehold on the galaxy. I like seeing how things are kind of in turmoil and chaos. And probably what's interesting to me, maybe not much has changed in the Outer Rim, you know. The reach of the Empire was long, but yeah, it's not everywhere. It tries to be everywhere, but you stretch yourself too thin. I love the world building of it as well. It's great. I like how there's obviously going to be some crime syndicates. There's going to be some, as I said, Imperial remnants. No idea where all of it's going, but it's fun to see a post-original trilogy world where chaos reigns and nobody's really in charge. People think that they're in charge, but we're in the Wild West. And the person in charge has the biggest gun. That's what the Mandalorian is. And I love it, for sure. But yeah, Wookie. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm sure we'll get more context, a better bird's eye view of all of the factions, all of the groups in this show, and how they all kind of mingle together, or what they're fighting against or for. It's going to be fun. It's definitely going to be fun to see how it all kind of puzzle pieces together. But yeah, I appreciate that, man. And Fee Win, thank you so much once again for the super chat and channel support. Have you listened to the audio option for the blind in Mandalorian? The describer calls the baby a Pram. Any knowledge or thoughts about that? Is that a term? Let me look that up. Pram. Oh, okay. I've never actually heard this term. It's a British term.
Pram.
You hear that?
Pram.
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 Pram. A four-wheeled carriage for a baby pushed by a person on foot. A pram. I don't think I've ever heard that term before. Interesting. A pram is a stroller. It looks like. A pram is a baby carriage, a pushcart, a stroller, a pushcart, a baby buggy. So that's what, it can also be a small boat. Interesting. So that's what, I've never heard of that unless they're using that term in the show to mean something else. That makes sense to me, you know, Fee? A pram as a carriage, a baby stroller, whatnot, because, you know, Baby Yoda is cocooned in that, like, floating egg thing, which could definitely be described as a pram. Interesting. I learned something new here. I've never heard that term. A four-wheeled carriage for a baby pushed by a person on foot. So, no, I did not know that, Fee. That's interesting. You taught me something new. We all learned something new. Those of us who aren't British, probably. Or have British influence in our nations. Interesting. Okay, I thought it was a baby speech. Yeah, I could totally see how, like, if I was watching it with subtitles and stuff like that on, and Pram was written on screen, there's no question in my mind that I would have a very similar, not knowing what that term meant. If I was British and that term popped up on screen, I would probably, know exactly what it was. But that's interesting. That's an interesting observation for sure. But I appreciate that, Fee. Oh, and Thornton Wager, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well, man. The Mandalorian has no right to be this good. With this talent, it's like the stars aligned. Yeah, it feels like a nice little gem, a little nugget of 8-episode awesomeness. Granted, we're only 2 episodes in, right? We're only 2 episodes in. But those 2 episodes have been some of my favorite pieces of Star Wars since the original trilogy. And it's gearing up. If the trend continues, it's gearing up to be my favorite piece of Star Wars since the original trilogy. Can't say that with certainty yet. It's not done yet. We shall see, but I like the anticipation of it. I like the hype. Yeah, it still feels weird, Thornton, to get a Star Wars live-action show. Doesn't it? It's still hard for me to wrap my brain that we're actually watching a live action Star Wars show. And I think the reason behind that is for years, for decades, it's always been kind of a rumor or something that people have talked about, a live action Star Wars show. And now we're actually getting one. It feels very strange, but damn, it's good. There's a part of it that feels a little fan filmy. Interesting that you say that. Well, I feel like whenever I watch a new piece of Star Wars, official Star Wars thing, there is a little bit of that fan filmy feel, because there's so many fan films out there nowadays, and so many fan films have great effects, great acting, and they often shoot on scene because, hey, lower budgets, and maybe they live out in Arizona and they go to the desert, right? So I in a way, I can see what you're thinking, Thornton. And I can put myself in that headspace and kind of view it with that lens. And I understand what you're saying for sure. But it's way better than any Star Wars fan film I've ever seen. If this was a Star Wars fan film, I think people would legitimately be saying, without any kind of like bullshittery or facetiousness, that they should hire these people to make Star Wars stuff officially, right? But yeah. But Thornton, I appreciate that, man. And Ruben Ramirez, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support as well. Do you think that the Mandalorian will start building a crew and we will have a Star Wars version of Firefly? A crew like Firefly, yeah, I mean, that's in the cards, right? That's a possibility for sure. In my heart and in my head, I think the Mandalorian likes to work alone. There's no indication that this is true. He's a part of a guild, right? But at first glance, he seems like the kind of guy who wants to work alone. Sure, he'll work with people, but he seems to be kind of a loner. That being said, what you just saw there, obviously he knows one of the crew members. I can't remember her name. One of the crew members, it's known, or there's kind of a description that he knew this character from the past. So there is some past there. It's potential that there obviously is a potential that he's going to team up and there's going to be a crew and stuff like that. They're going to have to put together a team. Maybe he's reluctant to team up. But Mandalorian. There you go. But yeah, so if I had to guess, Ruben, there will be an element of that. If I had to guess, there will be an element. I don't think it's going to be as like buddy friendly as Firefly often was. They're a part of a crew. They know it. They work together. I don't know if it's going to be that buddy. I think the Mandalorian kind of expects people to stab him in the back. And maybe he will be more standoffish than maybe many of us think. But yeah. Anyway, Ruben, I appreciate it. That being said, I can't wait to see where it all goes. Anything is on the table, right? Any theory, any guess, nothing is too outlandish. Who the hell knows where it's going to go? And that's what I love about it. All these twists and turns. Gotta love it. Thornton Wager, once again, did you finish Clone Wars and Rebels yet? There's a lot of Mandalorian backstory that'll probably show up. No, I haven't finished either. I think I'm just like 20 episodes shy of finishing off the Clone Wars. I think pretty much all I have to watch left is Season 6. I do know a lot of what happens in Season 6, just being a Star Wars fan, being in this fandom and kind of knowing stuff in the periphery. I kind of know a lot of what happens and what happened in that show. That being said, I'm still going to watch it. And I'm going to watch it and finish it leading into the Season 7. And that's my, I believe Season 7 starts like late February, right? Or middle February. So my goal after, the Mandalorian finishes up is to immediately start watching the Clone Wars again, and leading in and gearing up for Season 7. I don't think I'm going to do it the way that I used to do it, where I, reviewed every single episode. That took a lot. That took a long time. I think what I'm going to do is watch individual arcs and make a video about the entire arc, like 4 episodes in a video or something like that, and just kind of make it 6 minutes long, like, not too long, but gloss over a lot of stuff, and that'll be more manageable time management wise, and that'll be easier to do. And yeah, anyway, but yeah, no, the Clone Wars is great, man. I was, trust me, I was very hesitant at first. I'm the original trilogy fanboy asshole, right? I'm the special editions ranting guy. I'm the guy who talked about the prequels negatively for a long time on this channel's existence. The Clone Wars kind of changed my perception of what Star Wars is to a lot of people. It gave me more context for villains in the prequels. It kind of broadened my horizon of what Star Wars could be. And it exceeded my expectations, for sure. Obviously, there's a lot of duds. There's a lot of arcs that did nothing for me. There's a lot of episodes that did nothing for me. But the episodes that stick, the episodes that are great, are really great. And it's without a doubt worth watching, for sure. But yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Thornton. Yeah, the Clone Wars movie is ass, for sure. But, alright, guys. I'm going to jet. I was going to do 30 minutes. That was 50 minutes. My daughter's wiggling, but I think she's fallen back to sleep. She was asleep, but now she's wiggling. Gotta love these baby monitors, right? You just stare at them all day. It is funny. Like, there's a camera in her room, and if we're up, like, half of our attention is on the baby monitor when she's napping and stuff like that. But it's kind of funny. Attention is always on her, as it should be. Fee Win, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. As a fellow dad of a 3-year-old, just wanted to send you a super chat to buy you babies some milk or formula for the week. Love your show, man. Well, thank you so much, Fee. I greatly appreciate that, man. Yeah, how about this? I will put that towards, what is she really into lately? She loves, like, it's crazy. She loves broccoli and avocado. Those are her two and grapes. Those 3 foods she could just eat on, and that's like her favorite stuff. So how about this? I'll buy some avocados. Cool? Or maybe some chocolate milk. She's been drinking some chocolate milk lately. But Fee, thank you so much, man. It's fun being a dad, isn't it? It's crazy. Mind-blowing, stressful, but ultimately the funnest thing on planet Earth is being a dad. Hugs? She sees me in the morning, she wants hugs. Oh my god. Oh my god, kill me. Oh my god, nothing is as good as this. It's so awesome. Yeah, tiring as hell. No question about it. But it's worth it. Survive on a diet of coffee. But yeah. And she's back to sleep. Alright. Cool. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Let me run down the list. Fee Win, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. Thornton Wager. Ruben Ramirez. Why is my mouse? There we go. Wookie Cookies. Vince Wynn. Satanic Lives Matter. Charles Boots. Danny Travis. Chad Siebert. Jake Stewie. Deadly Llama. Subterrell Prospector. Matt Coles. And Carter Lovejoy. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel this afternoon. I will be doing another stream tonight, an hour of Jedi Fallen Order, so stay tuned for that. If I don't see you then, I will see you when I see you. Cool? Cool. All right, have a good week, guys. See ya.